This next topic is of a sensitive nature. I'm not normally one for trigger warnings, but this isn't a woke topic. This is a matter that will personally affect many people. This week, the story broke of a mother who was jailed for having an abortion after the legal limit. The woman in question ordered abortion pills by post, ending the life of her baby when she was 8 months pregnant. The legal limit for abortion in the UK is 24 weeks. She was 2 to 3 months over the legal limit. This is fraudulent on her part and irresponsible on the part of the clinic. I would say this is a reason mother and baby deserve to be seen by a doctor. Mail order medicine in this situation is entirely inappropriate. There has been uproar in the media because the mother was arrested, charged and sentenced, with many commentators claiming that this is a reason to decriminalise abortion in the UK altogether. If anything, this is proof the current system is working as intended. She broke the law and she went to prison. If there are no consequences for breaking the law, what is the point in having laws? Without a legal limit, what is to stop a mother ending the life of her baby a day before he or she is born, or even the day he or she is due to be born? If we go that far, what's to say we shouldn't allow parents to end the life of their baby a day after birth? Where do we draw the line? I would draw it at conception. Feminists have repeatedly chanted, "My body, my choice," at anyone who dares to engage in this sensitive conversation as a way of shutting down the debate. I hope I'm not the first to enlighten them that this is not a conversation about women's bodily autonomy. We're not talking about the mother's body here. We're talking about the baby inside of her. I know many people who were born prematurely, earlier than 8 months, in fact, who have gone on to live very fulfilled lives. The baby we are talking about in this instance was perfectly viable. Some people have argued that the baby would have been unwanted. The value of a life isn't determined by whether someone else wants them or not. I've had a few people in my DMs this week who've let me know that they were unwanted until they were born, and their parents were surprised by how much they have loved them. But even if that was not the case, there is always another option. There are so many couples who want to care for and love a child but cannot have one of their own. Adoption is a wonderful gift to both the baby and the parents. My sidekick Emma Webb has already engaged in a debate on this topic earlier this week and argued her position perfectly. Here she is debating with Bev Turner with diametrically opposed views. I will not be commenting on Bev's stance.
A child that is between 32 and 34 weeks is a viable baby that is a human life. If the child had been born and there was a horrible situation during lockdown and a mother had murdered her own baby, and that would be infanticide, you wouldn't therefore say, well, you know, the mother was having a hard time. I'm sorry, but you have to have certain protections, whether you're anti-abortion full stop or whether you have a reasonable moderate view on abortion. After 24 weeks, the reason why the line is there in the law is because that is a viable baby, that is a human life, and your reproductive rights as a woman do not extend, and your bodily autonomy, I have to say, does not extend to murdering another life.
I obviously completely disagree, because the risk, if there's anything that we learnt during the pandemic, it is the idea that bodily autonomy, what you decide to do with your body as a sentient adult human female, must trump all other laws, governments, regulations, and this story is tragic.
But what about the bodily autonomy of the child? Does the child not have a right to its own bodily autonomy?
But Emma, if you take that to its logical conclusion, and if we are living under a government who decides that if you get pregnant, you as the woman, your rights are irrelevant now. That child's life trumps your human sentient existence. I think that the sentence was way too harsh.